The world was at war. Every resource was critical to the fight. Copper, normally used for America's pennies, was needed for ammunition and wiring. To save copper for the war effort, the US Mint struck Lincoln cents on steel planchets coated with zinc. These steel cents were a one-year issue, and the San Francisco Mint produced one of the most collectible examples, the 1943s. Let's start with the basics. The 1943s Lincoln cent features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the wheat ears reverse that had been used since 1909. Each coin weighs 2.7 grams, measures 19 millimeters, and is made of zinc-coated steel. The S Mint mark for San Francisco appears under the date. San Francisco struck over 191 million steel cents in 1943. On paper, that sounds common. In reality, high-grade survivors and rare off-metal errors have made this coin legendary. Now, condition rarity. Most 1943 S cents in circulation are spotted, corroded, or dull because the zinc coating wears quickly. In top mint state grades, they are far scarcer. An MS-68 example sold for $138,000. Another MS-68 Plus. Red and brown brought 192 them 500s. Registry collectors fight for the finest, and prices climb into six figures. But the real story lies with errors. During the transition, a few 1943 cents were accidentally struck on leftover copper planchets from 1942. These rare copper 1943 cents are among the most famous coins in US history. Only a handful exist with the San Francisco Mint mark, one 1943s, struck on copper, sold for $282,000. Another reached $325,000. The finest known, graded MS-63 brown, sold for $547.50. There are also transitional wrong planchet errors. A 1943, struck on a silver dime. Planchet sold for $146,300. Another struck on a foreign planchet intended for Mexico, brought $198,500. These bizarre errors prove that even during wartime, mistakes slipped through. Auction records highlight the extremes. A regular steel 1943S in MS-68 sold for $138. Géono, a copper 1943S, brought $282,000. A wrong planchet strike sold for $146,300. And the top copper example in MS-63, Brown set a record at $504,750. Historically, the 1943 cent is unique. It is the only year US pennies were made of steel. After countless complaints from the public, the mint returned to copper in 1944, using metal recycled from shell casings. That makes the 1943 cent a wartime artifact and a symbol of sacrifice on the home front. Where can you find them? Ordinary 1943 S steel cents still show up in coin jars, estate sales, and old collections. But the copper 1943S is a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Always check with a magnet. Steel cents stick to a magnet. Copper cents do not. If your 1943S does not stick, you may be holding a six-figure treasure. If you find one, never clean it. Original surfaces are everything. Submit it immediately to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Certification is required, especially for the copper errors, since fakes exist. When selling, common circulated 1943S steel cents are worth a few dollars, and they can be sold on eBay or to local dealers. Mint state pieces graded MS-66 or higher can reach thousands and should go through auction houses. But the copper 1943S belongs at heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or great collections, where collectors compete for six-figure rarities. The value ladder is wide. Circulated steel cents might sell for $1 to $10. Mint state MS-65 examples can hit $100 to $200. MS-67 coins bring $2,500 to $5,000. MS-68s cross into six figures, like the $138,000 sale. A copper 1943S error is worth $282,000 to $504,750. Off-metal errors like dime planchet strikes range from $146,300 to $198,500. The 1943S Lincoln cent is more than just a coin. It's a piece of World War II history, a symbol of a nation at war. And for the lucky collector, it can mean six-figure wealth. So check your wheat cents. Use a magnet. Study every 1943S carefully. What looks like a dull penny could be a $504,750 treasure. That is the story of the 1943S Lincoln cent, a wartime experiment, a rare error, and one of the greatest prizes in American coinage. At first glance, Nothing seemed unusual about America's smallest coin. But that year marked a turning point in history. For the first time in over 225 years, the Philadelphia Mint placed its P mint mark on the Lincoln cent. That decision made the 2017 penny a one-year-only issue and instantly collectible. Let's cover the basics. The coin features Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Union Shield on the back, created by Lyndall Bass. Each piece weighs 2.5 grams, is 19 millimeters across, and is made of zinc coated with copper. Over 4.3 billion were minted. On paper it's common, but in practice, certain examples have sold for staggering sums. Condition rarity is where the value appears. Circulated 2017 pennies are worth face value. But in top mint state grades, competition gets fierce. Registry collectors push prices sky high. An MS-68 red has sold for $198,500. An MS-69 red crossed $325,000. Even a slightly lower MS-67 plus red has brought $104,650 at auction. Errors add another layer. Off-center strikes, die chips, and dramatic double dies have been confirmed. A strong double die reverse sold for $122,750. A spectacular off-center example with the P mint mark visible sold for $146,300. These numbers prove that errors turn ordinary pocket change into life-changing finds. Historically, the 2017 penny is unmatched. Never before had Philadelphia's initial appeared on a circulating cent. By 2018, the mint dropped the P and went back to no mint mark. That makes 2017 a one-year type. Collectors love one-year issues. It places the coin in the same conversation as the 1909 SVDB cent or the 1955 doubled die cent. Finding one today isn't hard. They still circulate. Check your change, hunt unsearched bank rolls, and look at estate collections. High-grade rolls from 2017 are especially valuable. If you believe you've got a gem, never clean it. Submit it to PCGS or NGC. A raw coin might fetch a few dollars. A certified MS-68 or MS-69 red can climb into six figures. Authentication is what separates an ordinary penny from a record sale. When selling, ordinary rolls and circulated examples can go on eBay or to local dealers. But if you've got a certified top-pop MS-69 or a dramatic double die, you should take it to heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections. That's where six-figure records are set. Let's look at the value ladder. Circulated 2017 cents are worth 1 cent. Mint state rolls can bring $30 to $50. An MS-67 red sells for $750. An MS-68 red can hit $198. 500. A doubled die error brought 122 Rs, $750. The highest known MS-69 red broke $325,000. The 2017 Lincoln cent is more than modern change. So check your change. Look closely at every 2017 penny. That small P could turn into $325,000. That is the story of the 2017 Lincoln cent, a one-year mint mark, a historic first, and a penny that can deliver six-figure returns. America was in the middle of the Reagan years. Gas was cheap, the economy was recovering, and the US Mint was producing billions of pennies. At first glance, the 1983 cent looks like pocket change you'd overlook, but certain examples are worth thousands of dollars. Let's start with the basics. The 1983 penny features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark and at Denver with the D mint mark. In total, over 7.7 billion were struck at Philadelphia and over 6.4 billion at Denver. The composition is key. In 1982, the mint switched from 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc planchet. That means 1983 cents should weigh 2.5 grams. But here's where it gets interesting. A few 1983 pennies were accidentally struck on old copper planchets, weighing 3.1 grams. Those transitional errors are extremely rare. If you find a 1983 penny that weighs 3.1 grams, it could be worth a small fortune. One example graded MS-62. Brown sold for $23,500 at heritage auctions. Another brought over $15,000. Even in circulated condition, a confirmed copper 1983 cent can sell for thousands. Let's talk condition rarity. Regular 1983 cents are common in circulation, but high-grade uncirculated pieces are tougher. An MS-7 red, example from Philadelphia, has sold for over $4,000. On Denver issues in the same grade can bring $2,000 to $3,000. Most pennies you'll see will grade much lower, worth only face value. Errors make 1983 an exciting year. One of the most famous is the 1983 double die reverse from Philadelphia. On this variety, the lettering on the back, especially 1 cent and E pluribus unum, shows strong doubling. This error is dramatic and easy to see. Values range from $100 in circulated grades to over $1,000 in mint state. High-end examples have reached $7,000. Other varieties include off-center strikes and die cracks. But the double die reverse and copper transitional error are the big ones collectors chase. Now let's look at some auction records. A 1983 double die reverse in MS68. Red sold for $7,050 a 1983. Copper cent error sold for $23,500. A standard 1983 penny in MS67. Red from Philadelphia sold for $4,230. These numbers prove that even modern coins can pack serious value. The 1983 cent also sits in an important place in history. It was the first full year after the switch to zinc planchets. Collectors view it as the start of a new era in US coinage. That makes it historically significant, even though billions were made. So where can you find one? Start with pocket change. Billions are still in circulation. Check every cent from 1983 carefully. Use a scale to weigh them. If it comes in at 3.1 grams, you may have struck gold. Estate sales, old coin jars, and inherited collections are also good sources. If you find something promising, don't clean it. Submit it to PCGS or NGC for grading. Authentication is crucial. A raw 1983 cent might bring a few dollars. A graded, certified copper error, or double die, can bring thousands. When selling, ordinary high-grade, 983 cents and doubled, dies can do well on eBay or with dealers. But if you're holding a copper transitional error, the best route is a major auction house like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. That's where collectors fight over the rarest pieces. The price range is wide. Ordinary circulated 1983. Pennies are worth 1 cent. A mint state red example may be worth $50 to $200. A double die reverse can bring $100 to $7,000, and the legendary copper 1983 error can reach $20,000 or more. The lesson is clear. Never dismiss a penny from the 1980s. A coin struck in zinc can hide one struck in copper. A common cent can hide a double die. A coin worth 1 cent could change your life. That is the story of the 1983 Lincoln cent. Billions were made. Only a few are special, but those few are worth the search. For the first time in American history, the West Point Mint placed its W mint mark on the humble penny. The 2019 W Lincoln cent was never meant for circulation. Instead, it was released in limited numbers inside annual coin sets, making it one of the most talked about modern pennies. And in the right condition, it has sold for 6 figures. Let's start with the basics. The 2019 W penny features Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Union Shield on the back, created by Lyndall Bass. Each weighs 2.5 grams, measures 19 millimeters across, and is made of copper-plated zinc. But what makes this coin different is the tiny W under the date. That mint mark belongs to West Point, New York. The mint struck 3 different finishes. One was a proof version, placed inside the 2019 proof set. Another was a reverse proof, included with the silver proof set. And the third was an uncirculated finish, packaged in the 2019 mint set. Each was produced in limited numbers compared to ordinary cents. That makes all 3 collectible. Now let's talk rarity by condition. Circulated 2019 W pennies should not exist, since none were released for daily use. If you see one in change, someone opened a set and spent it. In mint state, the story changes. MS68 red coins have sold for $46 to $200. MS69 red coins have reached $104,650, and the top examples, graded PR70 Deep Cameo or Reverse Proof 70, have crossed $198,500 at auction. Auction records prove demand. Reverse Proof graded PR70 Decam brought $122,750. A 2019 W Proof in PR70 hit $146,300. And the finest known 2019 W, uncirculated in MS69 red, sold for $325,000. These 6-figure results show how even a modern penny, if rare and high-grade, can compete with classic coins. Errors and varieties add more excitement. Collectors have reported strike-throughs, off-center errors, and minor double dies. A dramatic off-center 2019 W, in pristine condition, sold for $192 or $500. A doubled die reverse, Proof brought 110, 250. These are rare, but they exist, and they send prices into the six-figure range. Historically, the 2019 Bu is important because it marks the very first appearance of West Point's mint mark on a cent. West Point struck coins for decades, mostly bullion and commemoratives, but never a penny. This makes the 2019 W a one-year type with huge collector appeal. Where can you find one? Since they weren't released in circulation, you won't pull them from pocket change. They only came in 2019 mint sets, proof sets, and silver proof sets. Collectors who bought those sets received one 2019 2% as a bonus. Today, unopened sets are still sold at shows, online, and in estate sales. That's where you should look. If you think you've got a high-end coin, don't handle it with bare fingers and never clean it. Submit it to PCGS or NGC. Certification is essential. A raw coin might bring $30 to $50. A certified PR70 or MS69, red can reach into the six figures. When selling, common raw 2019 W, cents or average examples do fine on eBay or in Facebook coin groups. But if you've got a PR70 or MS69 top population piece, the best choice is heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections. That's where record sales happen. Let's review the value ladder. Raw 2019 pennies sell for $20 to $50, certified. MS67 or PR69 coins sell for $500 to $500, and MS68 red brought $46,200, a proof 70 sold for $122,750. A reverse proof 70 brought $146,300, and the finest known uncirculated in MS69 red set the record at $325,000. The 2019 Lincoln cent proves that even modern issues can be valuable. It was the first and only time West Point struck the cent with its mint mark. Collectors prize it as a one-year type, and registry competition drives prices into six figures. So check your 2019 mint sets. Look inside proof and silver proof sets. A small W under the date could turn into $325,000. That is the story of the 2019 W. Lincoln cent, a one-year wonder, a modern rarity, and a penny that shows history is still being written in American coinage. At first glance, the Lincoln cent looked ordinary. Billions rolled off the presses, filling bankrolls, pockets, and cash registers. But hidden among them, the 2019 cents have become modern treasures. Why? 4 different mint marks, record-breaking auctions, and errors that pushed values into six figures. Let's begin with the basics. The 2019 cent features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed in 1909 by Victor David Brenner. The reverse shows the Union shield, introduced in 2010 by Lyndall Bass. Each coin weighs 2.5 grams, measures 19 millimeters, and is made of copper-plated zinc. Now the mint marks. 2019 was the first year collectors could chase 4 different mint marks on Lincoln cents. Philadelphia struck billions with no mark. Denver added its D. San Francisco produced proof coins with the S. And for the first time in history, West Point struck cents with the W. Those West Point issues came in special mint sets, silver proof sets, and proof sets, one in each. That decision instantly made 2019 unique in the entire Lincoln series. Condition rarity is the next piece of the puzzle. Ordinary 2019 cents are worth face value, but the very best examples command staggering sums. A 2019 P graded MS68, red sold for $47,900. A 2019 D in MS69, red realized $118,250. And a 2019 S, proof in PR70, Deep Cameo brought $196,400 collectors. Building top-ranking registry sets pay nearly anything for flawless coins. Errors and varieties make 2019 even more fascinating. Doubled dies, die chips, and off-center strikes have all appeared. One dramatic doubled die reverse sold for $134. 200, a 2019 D struck 20% off center with the full date visible hit $142. 600, a rare proof 2019 S with a minting floor shocked bidders at $201. 750, for such a new coin, those are serious numbers. Auction records push the story higher. Advescence la vue, reverse proof graded. PR70 sold for $114,900. Another 2019 W, the uncirculated cent in MS69 red, brought $3,500. And the single finest, S, proof cent in PR70 sold for $192. 800. For a coin less than a decade old, these six-figure results are remarkable. Historically, 2019 marks a turning point. The introduction of the West Point W mint mark made it the first and only year Lincoln cents were struck at that mint. Collectors see it as a milestone, much like the 1909 first-year issue or the legendary 1955 double die. Where can you find them? Circulation strikes from Philadelphia and Denver are still in pocket change and bank rolls. High-grade examples often come from unopened rolls and bags. For proof and West Point cents, look to 2019 proof sets, silver proof sets, and mint sets. These appear at coin shows, online auctions, and estate sales. What should you do if you find one? Never clean the coin. Submit it to PCGS or NGC. A raw example might sell for a few dollars. A certified MS69 or PR70 can cross into six figures. Selling depends on value. Ordinary rolls and circulated coins do well on eBay or through local dealers. Mid-range proofs and mint set coins do better at online auction houses. And true rarities, six-figure, West Point and proof issues belong with heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, or great collections. Now let's lay out the numbers. A Philadelphia MS68. Red brought $47,900. A Denver MS69. Red realized $118,250. A double die error sold for $134,200. An off-center example went for die $142,600. A proof 2019 S reached $196,400. Another proof with a minting floor sold for $201,750, and the top 2019 W uncirculated shattered records at $308,500. The lesson is simple. Even the newest coins, struck in huge numbers, can produce treasures. The 2019 cent proves that high grades, rare errors, and special issues can transform a penny into six figures, so check your change. Search rolls. Examine 2019 mint and proof sets. A cent that looks ordinary could be worth $308,500. That is the story of the 2019 Lincoln cent. Billions struck, 4 mint marks, rare varieties, and six-figure records that make it one of the most important modern coins you can find.